I guess we can piggyback off my take last week for you to have your take, for you to piggyback on this week so you could talk about Cobb Monkey Bear anniversary, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of echo here. What's going on?
I hear the echo too. I don't hear it coming through the computer. I just hear.
Let me mute you. Okay. Ooh, I hear it's my end. Darn it. Shoot. It's coming from me. How about now?
Gone.
Much better. You know what? It's let's see. It is okay. It's the input from GoToMeeting. So I guess if we have anybody on, we want to talk to them. We'll have to put up a little bit of echo, unfortunately.
Okay.
And then the last thing is I'm still getting beeps, aren't I?
Yeah, GoToMeeting beeps.
No, I'm not getting them because they're not okay. Because I turned that off. All right. So I guess if we get anybody on GoToMeeting, then we'll deal with them there. But if we don't, we don't. Okay, you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Let me get my. You got Evernote up?
Evernote up.
All right. We're recording. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Cobb, what time is it?
I don't know. Did you make me general manager and pay me as much as TJ, Lawrence, Tyler, and Ronnie are getting?
I don't know. Did I introduce you to my friends in the Russian mob yet?
Point taken. Okay, then it's pee time!
It's tea time. It's TMV time. Depending if you're listening or watching, we don't mind. It's tea time. It's TMV time. As long as you're listening or watching, we don't mind.
Be nice if we had some people watching us, though. Welcome to the Tweeting Warrior videocast with Hutchings and J. Cobb. We're videocasting live on YouTube today from 1 p.m. to about 2 p.m. Pacific. Cobb promises he won't flop. I won't flop either. We're going to have a great time today. If you're watching this, please share a link with your friends. How you doing, Cobb?
Great to be live on YouTube with the TMV, Brad. Hey, everyone out there in Warriorland, welcome to the Tweeting Warrior videocast, home of the premier source of sports fan fiction.
Here's how to interact with us live until I get my my spit screen on. Sorry. Tweet our show. Hashtag TheTMV. GoToMeeting ID today is 988-591-293.
So, hashtag your tweets, the TMV. The GoToMeeting ID is 988-591-293. We'll take calls as we work through our segments during the show. Get on and have something to say.
What's on our plate today, Cobb?
Double shot of winners of the week. Your take, my take, topical tweets, and your calls and live tweets. And is there a Manuel and Gardena in here also?
There is a Manuel and Gardena in here.
Sweet.
He'll even break down Mexico versus the Netherlands for us.
Nice.
Yeah. So please call anytime this hour if you'd like to listen or chat. GoToMeeting ID again is 988-591-293. Winners of the week. So this is winners from last week, previously recorded, and Cobb's supposed to say that, but I'll just say, hit it, Brad.
Give me 5. Etchit Man makes it 5 Florida wins in a row. 12 total for the Etch. Follow Etchit Man on Twitter at Shecky14. You are a hat-trick winner. Gotta let the winds flow. Gotta let the winds flow, Rita. Tuesday was the 6th straight for the Sunshine State. Boom Boom goes the Dynamite, and Win Win goes the Adrian Sherman, his 10th. Follow Adrian on Twitter at Boom Boom Dynamite. hat-trick winner. On Wednesday, Mike McGraw's first made it a new streak for Richmond, Virginia. Follow Mike on Twitter at Crooked Athens and check out his music on SoundCloud. You are a hat-trick winner. Thursday's winner is from San Diego, California, which means that Sil Jones' fourth Twitter hat-trick title. Follow Sil on Twitter at Safari Sly. You are a hat-trick winner. Friday, we saw our second first-time winner of the week, Jay Brown. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go! Follow Jay on Twitter at Goldfish Ninja. You are a hat-trick winner. And she's also a girl.
Impressive list of winners, Cobb. How'd you do that without moving your lips?
We already told everybody I was recording. I recorded it last week, dude.
I gave that away. My bad.
Ugh.
Winners of the week.
On Monday, we saw a first-time winner as Matthew Rojas grabbed his first Twitter hat-trick win. Welcome to the club. Follow Matthew on Twitter at Matthew_G_Rojas. You are a hat-trick winner. Tuesday, Adrian Sherman got to the LeBron James opting out story first and was tweeting Jay Mohr Sports well before the show even started. Then he had a job interview. No word on whether Boom Boom Dynamite got the job, but he does have another Twitter hat-trick championship, his 11th. Well played, Adrian. Follow him on Twitter at Boom Boom Dynamite. You are a hat-trick winner. What did Alex Hernandez do on Wednesday, you ask? I don't know. Win his 8th Twitter hat-trick contest, maybe? Oh, that's all. Yeah. Dude is always funny, not shocked at all. Follow Alex on Twitter at Salahandro. You are a hat-trick winner. And what did Extra Man do on Thursday? Well, he certainly didn't call the show to prep for the smack-off and hang up. Vicky knockout. Vicky knockout. Instead, Etch just earned his 13th Twitter hat-trick title. Slow and steady, Shecky. Follow Etch Man on Twitter at Shecky14. You are a hat-trick winner. And Shecky14 will have to sit on number 13 because special guest host Rocco Pindola sat in on Friday for Jay Mohr. There was no Twitter hat-trick contest and no Twitter hat-trick winner. Sorry. Also, JJ is taking a Twitter and internet sabbatical, so I'm not sure how long we'll all have to wait before another Twitter hat-trick champ is crowned. Sorry, Warriors. I encourage you all to remain positive and stay patient. Let's show everyone what we are truly made of, and we will all make it out of this for the better. Remember, we ride together.
And if there are no Twitter hat-trick contest members this week, Cobb and I will just arbitrarily pick people who are winning.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, they could be public people. They could be previous Twitter hat-trick club members. They could be
Names out of a hat, maybe. A Twitter hat. We could have a Twitter hat
that's right,
and just pick a name out of it.
They could be dogs at a shelter who get adopted.
It could be just... Maybe I'm thinking Luis Suarez can just, like, bite off Dan Byers' fingernails, and then we'll pick the winner that way. Like, we'll write names on fingernails.
Right. It could be lookalikes of Pete Rose.
Right. Carlos Hustle. Exactly.
All right. We'll carry you through this.
We got you, Warriors.
Yes, we do.
Brad's take.
So this week I want to talk about renegotiating existing contracts because there's a lot of it going on. In a world where your word is your bond, there would be none. In a world where contracts represented the merging of positive visions, there would be none. In a world where people didn't make purchasing decisions based on contracts others claimed to be bound by, there'd be no public hard feelings. Miami Heat season ticket holders have a little bit to be worried about while their big three are technically free agents right now. It's not inconceivable for the Heat front office to screw this all up. But we live in a world where, bottom line, one side wants service and the other side wants to be paid. And so we can look at how various people renegotiate things to get a sense of how they value them. Take Jason Kidd. With 1 year of coaching under his belt, he wanted an expanded role with the Nets and a paycheck commensurate to this year's class of fresh out of the league coaches they're getting. In Soviet Russia, Coach no asked to be member of Politburo, son. But it turns out that Kidd had a hookup with the Milwaukee Bucks in his back pocket. So the 3 years remaining on his $10.5 million deal with the Nets are basically meaningless. If the Bucks don't hire him, look for Brooklyn to unload him anyway. Perhaps they hold on to him a few games into the new season just to make a point. Or perhaps they really can't afford to do that. But still quite fresh from an extraordinarily long playing career in the NBA, Kidd's Rolodex has a lot of player and management cards. And he could probably set up shop in any front office and do great things. He knows this. Nets ownership does not. Best of luck to Jason Kidd. That was a powerful move. Next, we have Miami's Big Three opting out of their contracts. Many believe the move was to clear salary cap space so the Heat could upgrade the role players and backups. Of course, every GM in the league with a little cap space to work with knows they have at least a small shot at perhaps pairing LeBron with Carmelo, right, Phoenix? Or bringing him to a solid core of stars and role players who already know how to work together. Right, Dallas? If it's the former, it shows that players believe that rings are more valuable long-term than salaries. That value probably is not just career stats, satisfaction, and legacy, but in endorsement deals as well. LeBron's annual endorsement revenue in 2013 was $40 million, while his salary was just $19 million. It's estimated that if he left the Heat, the value of the franchise would fall $100 million. And that was pre-Ballmer valuations that would have had the Heat in the $700 million range. The lesson here is to always, when negotiating or renegotiating, have bigger cards in your pocket. The Nets may not have wanted Jason Kidd to run the show, but they can't risk tanking a season now to wreck his career ambitions. Kidd holds the cards. Similarly, if the Heat don't squeeze every bit of value out of the Big Three salary concessions, they won't be sticking around Miami. LeBron and his buddies hold the cards. Some people won't like these power plays because contract should mean something. In reality, though, contract or not, we're all negotiating all the time. What do you think, Cobb?
Strong, timely take, Brad. Strong and timely.
I see you're negotiating with me right now.
How's that?
Well, you were just negotiating with your microphone to turn it on.
I was negotiating with my mute button. It was like, all right, Google Hangouts, pop up. Because, like, if you're not on the screen, everything disappears. So I'm here, like, moving the mouse around. Like, I have to squiggle the dang mouse, and all of a sudden, here, all the buttons show up. I don't know why they have to disappear. I did.
Stronger cards in your pocket than that mouse. That's what I'm wondering.
No, clearly I don't. Clearly, no matter how much I try, I can't get it to operate in a timely fashion.
Enough of the frivolity. What do you think?
I don't disagree with you. I'm just hopeful. I'm just as just speaking on the LeBron aspect of all of this, not the Jason Kidd part, but as a hopeful Heat fan, I'm just hoping that they all renegotiate for lower salaries and then they get more help. I just don't know who's going to come and join them. I don't know if it's going to be like a Kyle Lowry. They're clearly, they have nothing to bring to the Kevin Love sweepstakes, so that's out of the question.
Well, they're not going to get another superstar. I think that's clearly not going to happen. But can they upgrade the other 9 positions on the roster?
Yeah, everyone thinks that they have to throw all the money together to get Carmelo, and I don't even think they really want that. But then Pau Gasol's name's been dropped in there too. Whether it's either Miami or Dallas.
I'd say Pau Gasol also is talking about New York as well, the Knicks, and I'd say Pau Gasol is probably the top end of the player range that they'd be looking to bring in.
And I think the Lakers would happy to see him go.
Well, and it's not just one player either. They're not one utility player, or they're not a Robert Horry away from beating the Spurs next year.
No, well, Lakers are fighting for an A seed in the West. They're not fighting for a Western championship.
I'm still talking about the Heat. I mean, the Heat are not. They're not Robert Horry.
Sorry.
The Spurs. They are 2 or 3 position players plus a solid backup for Dwayne Wade away from being able to compete with the Spurs in the finals.
Yeah, winning the finals is certainly on their mind. Just preparing the team to get him back to the finals is still their main objective.
Well, I still think they. Because
once you get there, anything can happen.
Well, not
You
the
know,
charity, they couldn't happen.
two years ago, Manu Ginobili looked like Dwayne Wade looked this year. He looked old. He looked like he wasn't healthy. He looked out of shape. He didn't play well. He didn't play with any sort of, gusto. And that's how Dwayne Wade looked this year. And like Manu Ginobili was he pulled a 180 in 365 days. He pulled a 180. He was a completely different person. He was a Manu of old.
Yeah,
not just an old Manu.
Yeah, except Dwayne Wade was pretty much diminished skills the whole year round. He had a couple flashes of brilliance, but really no consistency. And Popovich rested his crew enough that when playoffs came, you could see Manu playing very well throughout the playoffs, and the finals were really no surprise. They were just continuing his track record.
No, it was quite a surprise.
Well, I think it was. He didn't stink the rest of the playoffs. I mean, he was playing at a good level the rest.
No,
of the
surprise. I mean, the Dallas San Antonio series in the first round was really, really tight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very, very.
And that was a 1-8 matchup. That wasn't.
I don't think that the Heat faced anything like that in the East. The Heat in the West would have they'd have a pretty tough go of it. But even next year, I think this team would probably cruise to finals appearance. But they've got to be deeper, and they've got to be stronger, and at least Wade needs rest during the season and during the playoffs if he's going to perform at a high level.
The only good thing about the Heat's performance is they know where their holes are. They know where their struggles are. They know where they need to get better. The big problem with the Heat is I'm not sure they know how or they can put the pieces together to fix those holes.
Well, that's very interesting.
This is all of course seeing that the big three keeps it together, stays put, renegotiates for smaller contracts.
Well, some portion of $55 million should buy a lot, and by any good guess, that portion ought to be, say, $30 million. If the big three can slide in at 25, because they're going to get more in endorsements anyway, especially if they win it all.
Yeah. Do you know LeBron made $30 million off the sale of Beats by Dre to Apple?
Yeah, he's
set.
Starving. He's not starving for money. I mean,
right.
I think
that's just one endorsement. Yeah.
His legacy has more value than the Heat could pay him, and I mean that in dollar value, not just in what's good, how he's going to feel when he's 50 and pretending to be a franchise like Jordan is right now. All right, I'm being told that we're doing too much basketball talk, so we're going to get your take.
By whom? Monk?
By
is Monk telling you that?
Actually, one of our viewers is telling us that, so we're going to just go on to your take.
Cobb's take.
Now, before we get to Cobb's take this week, would you like me to play your take from last week, Cobb?
No, let's segue into my take this week, and then we'll do last week, because I think we have a good space here to get off basketball.
Okay, go ahead.
I see a good segue here. Okay, so again, we're getting word that enough basketball talk, so let's change it up and let's talk some baseball. Specifically, this year's home run derby. All right, this thing has been 5 years in the making. Giancarlo Stanton is the third confirmed participant in this year's home run derby. He's not even an all-star yet. The all-star teams haven't even been announced yet. The all-star starters haven't even been completely voted on yet. The only two surefire participants are NL captain Troy Tulowitzki from the Colorado Rockies, is a shortstop, and Jose Bautista from the Toronto Blue Jays. This is big news that Stanton has agreed because he was supposed to be in it last year but was hurt. This looks like this will be his second all-star appearance, and the first one he missed because he was hurt. and he would have been a participant in both of those years. So this is huge. He has some of the longest, farthest home runs on record. All his home runs are either lasers, like straight, like just straight out of the park, or they're just moon rockets. They're just tape measured shots. This home run derby already is setting up to be a historical moment in baseball history. To me, this is almost as highly as anticipated as the '99 Home Run Derby, where Mark McGwire was just like sending moon rockets over the left field wall in Fenway Park in Boston. I mean, he was setting records just for like first round home runs. He was hitting like gas stations that were across the street, like hitting it into like Frank McCourt's parking lots outside of Fenway, like breaking cars. It was amazing, and ESPN did a great job of like getting almost all of them on camera and just seeing them fly like blocks and blocks away. I don't think Stan's gonna hit any literally out of the park in Minneapolis in the Twins in Minnesota.
Hey, it's a good thing they didn't have that All-Star game in Dodger Stadium, because your house would have taken a beating.
Dude, if he hit my house, I would frame the hole in my wall. I don't care if insects flew in and out of it. I wouldn't give a damn. I don't care if it left a window broken or a roof tile dented. I would frame wherever that thing landed. And I would get him to frickin' sign the ball.
Keep going.
Another spectacular home run derby. I mean, I know that I was just talking about Mark McGwire, and like, you know, we can forget about his like steroids and all his andro use. You know, hindsight makes everything 2020. But at the time, in 1999, sitting in your living room, it was great theater. Also great theater.
Honestly, Cobb, on the andro thing. All right. Let's see. 1999. I was 29 at the time. I knew more than a handful of people who were doing that. So it was essentially over the counter. In fact, it was supplement.
It was over the counter, but it was illegal in baseball. You know.
Oh, it wasn't illegal in baseball. I mean, they hadn't put it on a banned substance list yet. I mean, he had it sitting at the top of his shelf, you know, under his.
Yeah, he was photographed with it in his locker room.
Absolutely. I mean, it certainly didn't. It certainly didn't perpetuate him as a clean-cut guy. At the same time, with that, he did nothing that was wrong at the time.
What was the deal with andro? Like, high school kids were getting dehydrated from using andro?
No, that was actually creatine. Andro's a steroid it's a steroid precursor, and
that's right.
I think you would inject it. But yeah, I mean, there was just a whole slew of things that, you know, the bodybuilders and whatever were doing at the time that were.
Well, McGwire, he had to publicly say he stopped it. Like, he's like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to stop.
Well, yeah,
it's for the kids.
He got a lot of scorn from the Drew Anakovich. You're a funny cat, dude. Anyway, he got a lot of scorn from the media for it just because it was out there, and you know, the controversy was brewing at the time over performance-enhancing drugs. There were no policies per se. You know, it was perfectly easy to get. So yeah. Anyway, you got to talk about Josh Hamilton, though.
Yeah, because I was just talking at the time of the Mark McGwire Home Run Derby. It was great theater when we sat in our living rooms. Equally great theater was in 2008, the last year of the old Yankee Stadium. The All-Star Game was played in the Home Run Derby. Was had in New York City in the Bronx, and Josh Hamilton put on an equally awesome display of home runs. He didn't end up winning the Home Run Derby title that year either, but just the first round heroics were similar to what Mark McGwire had done 9 years earlier, and I see the same thing happening again with Stanton this year. I mean, as a Marlins fan, I am just over the moon waiting for this opportunity. I know Stanton had some setbacks recently. He missed a couple games with, I think, a knee or a hamstring. But the guy's playing phenomenal. He's having a near MVP type year. He's hitting like 310 or 311. He has over 20 home runs. He's leading the NL in RBIs. He's either third in All-Star balloting for NL outfielders, or he's fourth. And he's just flip-flopping with either Ryan Braun or Carlos Gomez. And those two are just right there. Can you mute your mic, Brad? All I hear is Jack.
Yes, we have Jack watching soccer, apparently, rooting on whoever's not playing.
I feel like Jack's telling me to shut the hell up. He's tired of baseball already. He's like, I don't care about Stanton. I don't have a man crush on Giancarlo Stanton like you, Cobb. Shut the hell up. All right, truth is, Jack, I do have a man crush on Stanton. I said it once in a tweet maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, if I ever died and was reincarnated, I would want to come back as Giancarlo Stanton. That's how huge my love affair is with this guy. I'm completely over the moon for this situation. I can't wait.
On the Brad Hutchings 0 to 10 scale, where 0 is none and 10 is Carson Palmer, where does your Giancarlo Stanton sit?
Giancarlo Stanton is at a 12 o'clock midnight. He is probably...
Wait, I went linear scale, and you went clock. I mean, that's how much your crush is.
Yeah, well, like, I completely...
You
throw away your scale.
Wow.
I just throw away your own scale. I'd say your Giancarlo Stanton is somewhere around Petro Papadakis' father at a USC football game. Like, he's like... That's where he is.
We had seats behind him, and he's a cool guy. Yeah, that's great. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Needless to say, I'm excited. I can't wait. And to me, the fact that he confirmed it this week.
Okay, so I was paying attention to something else. What did he confirm this week?
Jesus, Brad. Yes. He confirmed he was going to participate in the home run derby.
Very good. Well, that's going to be very, very exciting.
Yeah. On a side note, they did something really stupid with the home run derby. Instead of simplifying it, they made it more complicated. They added bye rounds for first round leaders. They made it twice as long. It was already too long, and now they just made it longer. So
come on, Cobb. They knew what was happening with this whole soccer thing, and they knew that in order to win the home run derby, you had to lose.
Yeah. Well, my point is, what everyone remembers is the first round heroics. They remember Mark McGwire belting like 50 home runs in the first round. They remember like Josh Hamilton hitting like 18 straight without an out. That's what people remember. They don't remember who actually wins. They don't remember that Justin Morneau won. No one remembers that. They don't remember that Robinson Cano won. They don't remember any of that crap. What they remember is the bombs and who hit them. They don't remember the winners.
Chicks dig the long ball. That's what they say.
Yeah.
All right. Great take, Cobb. We got a second take for you. Let me cue you up here.
Cobb's take.
Now, do you want me to play this one?
Yeah, I don't have notes on this one saved, just like the same with the winners. I just wanted to add one thing.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, I'll move. How about I just put the game on? I'll put the camera on the game. You're gonna have an immediate response to this take, right?
I will. So after it's done, I will start immediately responding.
Copy.
Here we go.
If anybody was watching sports on Sunday, they saw some pretty fantastic World Cup soccer. They also saw some good baseball. They saw Michelle Wee win her first major championship. And if they watched SportsCenter, they saw a brand new SportsCenter set. You know what? That's what my topic is about. It's about the brand new SportsCenter set. They just changed it from like 2 years ago, but that's only their fifth all time. 34, like something like 34, 35 years, they're on their fifth set. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I'm used to it. The thing that I like the least is like the font they use on the side screen. It looks a little odd. It looks a little strange. Maybe that might be something that I have to get used to. To me, it just looks a little cheap. It doesn't have the same. It doesn't stand out the same way. It looks more like everybody else, like Fox Sports 1.
Whoa, Cobb. Okay, whoa. Turn your mic on.
Yes, Brad.
Okay, wait. You don't like the font?
The new font? No, I like the old font.
Oh, man. Okay, so the new font actually takes cues from all the redesign of all the mobile operating systems, like Apple and like what is it, iOS 8?
Yeah, that's my point. It looks like everything else.
And the new but you know what? It's so elegant and so simple. I mean, it's like it's not.
But it lost its trademark. It lost its uniqueness.
You think their trademark really was like the overlay of the black and the red and the harsh squares and the contrast, and it just sort of felt like a sort of a digital board of you could like watch the things that are coming up and you could see the video and everything, and you think that was like really the trademark of their look.
When you saw it, you knew you were watching ESPN. You knew you were watching SportsCenter. That's the appeal.
So now you think it's just kind of flat, is what you're saying.
It looks like CBS Sports Network. It looks like Fox Sports 1. You turn on ESPN SportsCenter, you don't know if you're watching ESPN anymore.
Okay, got it.
You look at the anchors, and it's not even the same cast and crew anymore. Every once in a while, you get somebody you might recognize, but for the most 4 out of 5 times, you don't.
So you're not down with the redesign. Okay, I'm going to resume your take here. We'll get to this in 4 minutes and 23 seconds.
Had to come out with with their SportsCenter.
Cobb, one other thing here.
Yeah.
People are complaining about your hat. They want to see your hairline. I don't come here with a mouth guard on. They get to see my teeth. People want to see your hair. All right, let's go back to this.
Boff show and all the other sports news channels all kind of do the same thing that SportsCenter did with their side screen like 15 years ago. And now the weird thing is that everybody was copying SportsCenter, and now SportsCenter is copying them. They kind of they all just look like run of the mill. So from that standpoint, I was a little disappointed to see the SportsCenter update. But you know what? ESPN.com has never had an update. They've had the same website since its inception, and it's perfectly organized, and it looks perfectly. It's perfectly manageable. It's very easy to maneuver through, and it's very easy to guide. Get to places like you have the ESPN Insider, you have ESPN Fantasy. It's all right there. It never changes. Facebook, like once a month, Facebook changes, and sometimes they're like crazy changes. Like now, you can't even get like on your Facebook app. Just not even speaking about the website, but just the app, and like you can't even. You have to like go through your settings to find most recent, which is why anyone really goes on Facebook, because you want to just like go through and find some most recent. Because if you don't go through most recent, it's all just like dog. And lately, like really weird. This is like I think some of them are just like 10 or 15 years old, like or 5 or 10 years old. Like they're not even like new. Maybe I just need to fix the people I'm friends with on Facebook. Anyway, that's a personal issue. But even Twitter, even like we here listening and producing the Tweeting Warrior podcast, Twitter does a lot of updates, and I and I really respect what ESPN has done with their website. ESPN.com has never had an update. The ESPN SportsCenter set has had 5. And of course, SportsCenter has been around a lot longer than the website. But with the going rate with how like websites are, like especially these popular ones, I mean, MySpace updated so often and so frequently that they just updated themselves out of relevancy. And I fear. Well, I don't fear for Facebook. I wish Facebook would just go away. But I really fear for Twitter. I don't want Twitter to go away. Like, what if they move like popular tweets in front of most recent tweets? Like you're gonna lose it. I know there's a way to scroll and to move to activity and discovery and find out like where the favorites are going, but I don't want to see that be the default Twitter. I still like to have the most recent stuff on Twitter because I feel Twitter has its importance because stuff that gets to you the quickest and the fastest it's what takes precedence. And that's the really neat thing about Twitter, and especially that and the jokes, that and the jokes, and that and the social, the social aspects of Twitter. Like it's definitely like our social media medium. Those being on
those who listen to the Tweeting Warrior podcast or videocast rather, and those who tweet Jay Mohr Sports. You know, we all love Twitter. We don't want anything to happen to Twitter, and all of us except for maybe like Travanti Hadami or Brad Hutchings really don't care about Facebook at all. And that being said, I'm a little bit worried about YogurtEater.com and the TMV. I don't want it to go the way of MySpace and Facebook. I want it to kind of like go the way of ESPN.com. Just don't ever change.
Well, you know, Yogurt Eater, I'm a few weeks away from. I'm a few weeks out from having that updated, and it's because I've come up with some new stuff to try to do with our podcast, like have a table of contents in and have a way that you can link to the particular parts that you want to re-listen to, so you don't have to go search for them. And I think that's a lot of it. Hey, another thing is, you know, ESPN's website, it's not ESPN.com, Cobb. It's ESPN.go.com. And if you listen to Barry Katz's podcast, you would have heard the guy who was actually in charge of that at one point, who made Go.com a big internet property in the 90s before anybody was really thinking about these internet properties, and actually brought ABC together, you know, basically through their website. So, but I don't remember who the guy's name is. And it's a shame that we don't have Barry Katz here to tell us.
Darn it. It was an ABC executive or a Disney executive or somebody.
Yeah, I don't
ESPN.
remember that. He seemed like a young kid still, too, like maybe about our age. Like he did it when he was 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
More like your age, not my age. I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Yeah, that is true. It is ESPNGo.com. And they had a little Go logo in the beginning. It's kind of, I guess,
like their little central thing to go to for all the ABC, Disney, ESPN, Weather Channel stuff. Weather Channel? Discovery Channel?
Yeah, but it really is remarkable that they got it right on, like, the first try. And, like, I mean, they didn't
maybe they haven't got... Maybe they didn't really get it right on the first try. Maybe they're just going with what they got. You know, that could be, too.
Well, what do they really need to do there?
I think they need to post stories, basically. And they need to keep stats.
Well, they had a page 2 on there for a few years, and that was kind of a separate entity, and that's now since more or less gone.
People interact through the apps as well.
They added, yeah, they do. They added Grantland, you know, the Bill Simmons deal, which is apparently very popular, but I can't find myself touching it ever.
Yeah, I read some articles there when they're tweeted. Basically, Twitter's most of our interface to the sports world anyway.
Yeah,
it's all a commodity
for news and sports, not just sports. Like
I did like that your take was, you know, very, very design centered as well. I thought, wow, you know, I haven't even talked to you about this stuff, and you seem to just absorb it, being around me for a year. So I feel
sure. Have you seen my car seat Chloe face, Brad?
I see it now. Good stuff, man.
Did you see my beak off Vito picture yesterday?
I did. That was very impressive. I'm thinking of drawing him something, but I'm not. I'm really not that talented. I could draw Dodger Stadium, but I probably can't draw Vito.
Some of those are awesome. Did you see 12s?
Yeah, no, like I said, there were some
Holy
pretty
crap.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's some amazing stuff, but you know what? Even the corny ones like yours, I think, captured the essence of Vito, which is, of course, the most important thing to do. You know, at that point, after you capture the essence, it's just a matter of applying skill, which you have none of. But having captured the essence, it really didn't matter.
The job was already done.
Exactly.
I think he's even using French Fry Phil's Etch-a-Sketch as his profile pic right now.
Well, I think that's what started the whole thing, isn't it?
Is that what started it?
I think it is, because I think FFP did that completely unsolicited, and then Vito adopted it.
I thought it was actually he was tying it in the beak off with the smack off, and I think he was just like thumbing his nose at the Rome show.
Yeah, you know, by the way, we have some more business to take care of here. Number one, earlier this week was the Cop Monkey Bear anniversary, and
yes.
That was a game that was invented by the Great Blue Dini.
Yes, our very own Great Blue Dini.
Our very own Great Blue Dini.
Our own Twitter Hat Trick Club's own.
Do I have the Great Blue Dini song on here? I don't, of course. What a bummer.
Well, the best version is the one Phil sang.
FFP
Yes.
did his own Weezer version of the Blue Dini anthem.
Absolutely.
And that's we'd have to go. We'd
you-
have to scroll back through the
Tell you what, why don't
TMV
you talk
history
for
to
why don't you
find it.
talk for a couple minutes, and I will actually find that, okay? And I will load it up on our soundboard.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought up the Cop Monkey Bear anniversary, because my whole thing about the updates and the look of websites and the Sports Center updating their set is that Cop Monkey Bear actually got a really cool update for the first year anniversary. An update that I don't think will ever need to be updated again, except for maybe the fact of you would just probably add a few more participants. And what I'm speaking of is that Brad, the creator of the Cop Monkey Bear app, added where you can play people, not just the Great Blue Dini, the inventor of Cop Monkey Bear, but also play Brad Hutchings. You could play myself, Jay Cobb. You can play French Fry Phil. You can play people from the show, Jay Mohr included, Dan Beyer, Vito. There's other Twitter Hat Trick Club members like D the Seahorse was there, Brian C60, Drew Ornakovich. I'm doing this all off the top of my head. I
Yes.
hope I'm not leaving anybody out, but go out and check it for yourself. Go to the Yogurt Eater website. You can find a link for the Cop Monkey Bear app. Once you find it on your phone, bookmark it to your home screen, and then the app will be uploaded to your...
Oh, hail the great blue Dini, funny young man, with the 5-inch weenie, strong broad shoulders and stunning hair. Props to the inventor of Cobb Monkey Bear. Of Cobb Monkey Bear.
I think what I'm most proud of with our anthem is that I got French Fry Phil to say weenie.
Bravo, Brad. Bravo.
What can I say? Yeah, that was fun. It was it was neat. Kind of I actually had it in my Google Calendar that I put, I don't know, a long time ago, just to remind me. And I re-upped the Google Calendar reminder for the next 5 years so that we'll never forget when Cop Monkey Bear was invented.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But yeah, I mean, what a cool story. What a cool story that led to a cool game and just a lot of fun. And
Yeah,
people
we're
are
so
playing,
blessed.
People are playing it like mad this week too, which is great.
And shout out Dan Beyer, because he put it out on the top 3 at 5 first thing.
Yes,
Like,
he didn't have to do that.
And for giving a short reminder of the history of Cop Monkey Bear, how it started and how it's played, and what its orientation actually is. And so that was really cool. And props to you, Brad, for making the app and for updating it.
Oh,
That
well,
was-
thanks.
That was
That's-
awesome.
that's
And for
nice.
reminding everybody. I think it was you that reminded Dan Beyer.
Well,
I
see,
don't
and it
have
was-
I don't have that confirmed or not, but that's just what my assumptions are.
Actually, I think it was Blue Dini who did. So that's actually in the
Fair
that's
enough.
it's in the Twitter timeline. But it was very cool. And you know what? I I have to say, Brian C, who came back to our little community of Twitter.
Yeah, little hiatus.
Yeah, a little hiatus. I don't
Good to
blame
have
him.
back.
People need to take a little time sometime. Brian C likes to play that all the time with his kids, and I just told him, hey, if it's ever not working, just hit me up and I'll make it work again. But yeah, it's cool. I'm flattered that people like it. I even like it. So
I would hope you would like it.
all right, we done with our takes?
Yeah, whatever, sure.
All right, we'll do Manuel, okay?
Manuel and Gardena.
I'm speaking with Manuel and Gardena, and I'm going to get his reaction to the Mexico-Netherlands soccer match. So what do you got?
Yeah, me and my dad, my dad was watching all of it. He's a little bit more in Mexico as he's a Mexican native, but with U.S. Citizenship. I'm a U.S. citizen who, just had left for Mexico because that's my family. Yeah, I was disappointed, man. I was hoping Pete Rose would get one more go-round with the World Cup, because he's at the helm of the Mexican team, and he's been steering us right. But it's tough, man. I guess from what I hear, Belgium the Netherlands or the Dutch, those guys are pretty good, I guess, man. Which I would think it's kind of hard to be playing soccer with wooden shoes, but nevertheless, I guess they're all right, man.
All right, so we got
Oh, I
Pete
gotta
Rose's,
get my
we got
cat.
Pete Rose's haircut, and we got wooden clogs. I think that pretty much sums up the game.
Yeah, but hey, man, tip the hat, man. They beat us. So hopefully the U.S. can carry us through, baby.
We'll see about that. I think the Dutch have got a pretty good team. It was very, very hot playing there. It was very hot. You know, the temperatures were very hot, and they looked like they were still running around at the end, whereas Mexico just kind of slowed down there.
Oh yeah, I know that Amazon heat ain't no joke, man. And I know Zsa Gabor's husband is used to being under the heat that Jurgen Klinsmann. Right, man. I'm pretty sure that he gave it a lot of good little workout for this. So
that's the hat trick of soccer blast. All right, you want to get into your rap?
Right on, man. Sure, man. All right, so here we go. Week in review, weekly wrap up from my boy Brad Hutchings, my boy Jay Cobb, TMV, Warrior Nation. Summer days, spent snow plowing mashed potatoes in old lady England because the trailer got smashed, but nowhere near Billy Joel's Cadillac. All right, rock go in for JJ, rolling out of the rack, and taking Jay Mohr Sports in action. IA, ghost hands, get zombie arms every hip-hop Friday. Poodles may be a toddler, but he knows what's up. Sting spending the money for his kids' life savings. What a chump. Diamond Dan's no LeBron, he'll never opt out. Rhino and Schwartz are gangster and may have took a cop out back in the day, but that's their personal business. The werewolves on the hunt, so keep your physical fitness or Vito will grab ya. JJ's rewarded with a long weekend and does a show for the U.S. Marines because it's on American Mexicon. Manuel gets it on like Cobb on Anthem Tuesday. Armed Forces Wednesday, the lexicon grows like good vibes on Positivity Thursday. JJ killed it in interviewing this week. Patrick Beverley and Nate Robinson shows it's about heart, not height. An inspiration to short guys like me and Daryl Wright. The lady interns are running, doing a great job. Tampa Bay ace David Price is on the trade block. The USA advances in the World Cup. Mexico's out, but it's all good. Hip Hop Fridays the lick. Can't get enough. Yeah, of Jay Mohr Sports.
Let's see here. I got to do one for Topical Tweets, huh? But I don't have that stinger. So.
Topical Tweets.
All right, here we go. Topical Tweets. Topical Tweets. You want to add something, Cobb?
This morning we asked, #Topical Tweets. Have you ever tried to renegotiate a contract? How'd it work out for you? Reply here. #JasonKidd. #TheTMV.
And Jay Cobb just retweeted on Twitter Tim Reynolds. That would be @Tim Reynolds. AP source Chris Bosch told the Heat this afternoon he's exercising his early termination option and will become a free agent. Link to come. You know, there's some risk in this too, you know, of them doing that. You know what that risk is, right?
They might not have any suitors.
Well, not only that, but the Heat might not even be a suitor. I mean, the Heat might decide, hey, this LeBron and Wade and Bosch thing, you know, maybe we could just pick up LeBron and Bosch and you know, say thank you to Dwayne Wade. Maybe suggest he retire or go somewhere else. And then what happens? Not only do they have more cap space available, but the other two, you know, who knows how they take it.
Yeah, it depends. Are these guys really friends anymore? You know, after playing, you know, they were the best of friends before they joined the Heat. You know, they're like, we're the best friends the world has ever seen. We're gonna go play for all three are gonna play for the Miami Heat. Maybe they're not best friends anymore. Apparently,
I mean, there's got to be an in-sync analogy here, no?
I don't know what analogy I could come up with, but I do know that you know, they had their little meeting after all three agreed to opt out. They're going to have a meeting together, and apparently they all came out smiling. There's an AP picture of LeBron with a green hat on. It wasn't like team affiliated. It just had the color green, and he got into his white Ferrari and left. Dwayne Wade got into his white Ferrari and left, and I think Chris Bosh took Uber. I think he just flew home because he's a pterodactyl. But he went. Chris Bosh went home, and Dwayne Wade and LeBron James went to the Jay-Z concert together. So they had dinner, and then they're like, "Oh, let's go to the Jay-Z concert." And Chris Bosh like, "No, it's cool. I'm going to go home." And so maybe there's insight into that. Maybe I'm just looking into it, and I don't know. But maybe they saw holes in each other's games, or maybe they just didn't like playing with each other as much as they thought they would, or maybe they think that their time together is over. You know, we won't know until we know. But this only leaves us to speculate. Chris Bosh is taking it upon himself to say, "I'm a free agent." Dwayne, basically like, "Hey, teams, look at me." LeBron and Dwayne Wade haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of weird. Not everything is as it seems. That's for sure. So back to our question, our topical tweets question. Adrian Sherman tweets, "My cable bill was so damn high, I got free HBO out of it. Suckers."
The Great Blue Dini tweets.
Well, wait. You're supposed to
what?
comment. The format here is I read the tweets and then you provide commentary on these tweets. So what do you might say what you think about Adrian Sherman's negotiating skills.
Adrian Sherman needs to negotiate his way out of a cable bill and get himself some DirecTV. That's what my take is.
Okay then, but what's the point of getting DirecTV if JJ's not on DirecTV yet?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one day.
One day.
Right.
I mean, it's going to happen.
The Great Blue Dini tweets, "No, because it's a contract, and I still value what my signature means."
High morality person right there.
Yeah, I'm handing.
Fiber.
I'm basically going to hand what did people call me the other day? The moral compass.
Moral compass.
The moral compass. I'm handing my moral compass. I'm handing my compass over to the Great Blue Dini. He now owns.
He might have already just won the topical. He might already be the topical tweet winner with that one.
Yeah,
but let's not stop here.
Well, not to mention he wins a compass. Old Man Beeston tweets, "I used to hit my old boss up for a raise every year. He always sounded like he was sweating."
Ooh, sound like he's sweating.
Sound like he's sweating. I don't think violence in the equation just doesn't sound like a good idea to me. No hitting. No hitting, cease.
Boss
no
or
hitting.
otherwise.
Bose Trilliums tweets, "During my wife's pregnancy, I tried to renegotiate our contract," that's with a capital C, "several times. All I got for it was finding out she's got a great arm."
And shout out to Boaz. He just had his baby girl yesterday.
Beautiful baby girl. She's already Boazing in all the pictures.
I call next.
All right. Alex Hernandez tweets, "Just recently, in fact, she said she had a headache and went to bed."
Oh, contract fail. Negotiation fail.
Just turn on the weather, Alex. Just turn on the weather.
Something good on the Weather Channel.
Cease also tweeted, "Situation reminds me of the BB King lyric, 'Never make your move too soon.'" And that's the Jason Kidd situation he's talking about. You know, I think it's going to turn out okay for Jason Kidd. I think it's going to turn out much better than everybody thought, and people are going to think, "Wow, how did he do that?" Well, the way he did it is he knew what he was doing before he started.
I think both situations might look like they won out of this. I mean, the Nets lose Jason Kidd, who proved himself not to be that great of a coach. The Bucks feel like they get a great person to lead their team, and the Nets basically can just slide Lawrence Frank back into the head coaching position because he never left the team anyway. When Jason Kidd was named the head coach, Lawrence Frank just said he just did Olay with a little Toro action. Just said, "Here, Jason Kidd, keep my seat warm. I'm going to slide over and be an assistant for the next 12 months." Looks like everyone might get what they want out of this.
Well, that's not so bad. Johnny Ringo tweets, "I agree in all sports except the NFL, where the team can rip up your deal whenever they feel like it."
And that's the truth.
And he of course is replying.
He's absolutely right.
He's replying to Great Blue Dini there because Great Blue Dini snagged the moral compass. And I think Johnny Ringo was laying claim to the needle on the moral compass. Beth tweets, "Each year I get the NFL package at near half price by saying I will cancel them."
Hashtag actually I cry. Hashtag it works.
It works.
Hashtag the TMV.
I think that's impressive. That's very impressive.
She's a smart girl, and She has DirecTV already, so she's all ready for JJ to hit the airwaves on the Audience Network any second now, any day now.
Very nice. All right, well, we have to declare a Topical Tweets winner, and I think we've hinted at this.
Yeah. Well, since Great Blue Dini has already won the Moral Compass, I think he
took the Moral Compass is what he did.
He laid claim to it, took it right out of Brad's hands.
It's like our Intercontinental Belt.
With that being said, I think Alex Hernandez is our Topical Tweets winner.
Yes, absolutely. Alex Hernandez,
because he wins by losing, basically.
Right. You are a Topical Tweets loser. And that means it's time for thank yous. Thanks to the tweeters for participating live this afternoon, and thanks to the listeners, whether you listen live or on the podcast, for giving us an hour of your time. Thanks to Jay Cobb for doing the video cast with me.
Thank you, Brad. Let us know what you thought of today's show on Twitter. Hashtag TheTMV. The edited podcast will be up on Monday evening for you to enjoy during the week. We'll see you next Sunday afternoon at our regularly scheduled time for another fun hour of the TMV.
And we promise not to talk any basketball. We could probably do that, you think?
We'll probably talk a little basketball.
Like, we'll limit it to 20 minutes. Or we'll limit it to 50 minutes. All right. See you then, Cobb.
Lates.
Hey, what do you think we'll talk about next week?
Probably where LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh signed.
Yeah, and All-Star Game's coming up, right?
Yeah, I don't know when, though. I should have...
Probably talk about 4th of July fireworks. Fireworks are good to talk about.
We could talk about doggy PTSD post 4th of July fireworks.
We'll probably talk about how we chose our winners, because there weren't any winners this week.
Yeah.
All right, we have 10 seconds. What? One more thing.
We can talk about hot dogs.
Last song. You've made it to the last song.
Maybe we could talk about like another song we want French Fry Phil to write for us.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, let's keep going with this one.
Only made you listen, you know what you do.
Maybe talk about possible band names.
Hey, actually, we could have that guy. What was the guy's name again? I got him on SoundCloud. The winner from 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
tell me. His stuff is good, dude. His stuff is good. I could listen to that.
Is it Greg something?
Man, I feel stupid for not remembering, but his stuff is good. We got to have him on.
Last song, you made it to the last song. It only means you listen, you know what you do.
You know who we're not going to have on?
Who?
We're not going to have TJ on, because TJ doesn't get to come on our podcast until he invites you on his. Because you haven't been an official guest on his, right?
No, I was on just when when it was the TMP.
You were on with me last May, and he hasn't asked you back. And I've been on like 5 times.
He's asked. I've just said no.
Oh, well, maybe he's got to ask again. He doesn't get to come on until you go on with him. You need to go on with him, I think, very soon.
I believe this to be true.
Okay.
But